this you witnessing. Now we jumping up and down, getting feelin'.
Hey YouTube, it's me Kristianna. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to When in Doubt Pink. Hello. Okay, so welcome back. It's been a little bit of it's been a minute for me. But welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another like monthly roundup. This is March. March has been a time, bruh. Like March has been a time. But we're gonna talk all about it. And so just as a reminder, here are the categories that I kind of loosely go by. So we got community highlights, mental health check-in, things that brought me joy in the month of March, challenges and goals, beauty, music, books, TV shows and movies, pop culture chatter, trends and internet memes, and the tea on me. Let's just jump straight into it. But I should probably give you the vision for the makeup, right? I've just been wanting to just go all in on some wonky, crazy, chunky like makeup. When I say chunky, it's like I have these like bits and bobs from the dollar store. I have some of these like bits and bobs from Amazon that I haven't quite used yet. They're supposed to be stickers, so we'll figure out how they get used. I got some glitter. The one glitter has it's like made up of little tiny butterflies, which is kind of cool. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one or not, but it's cool. You know, I saw this one makeup look on Pinterest that was like super chunky and like had all kinds of stuff just hanging off of it, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to be a part of that world. So as you can see, my base is already on because we're going to be doing lots of other stuff and I want to make sure we have time. So I think I'm going to use this pink base on my lid just to get the party started. But I don't really have like a sense of direction necessarily. So you're gonna see me do some weird stuff. You're gonna see me do some really weird stuff. Also, I'm double filming, so I might be looking at the camera that is slightly above this one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so community highlights. I just want to say thank you so much to the patrons. If you didn't know already, I have a Patreon. I have been actually dropping my thoughts about everything over there on the Patreon, more so because and this like goes into like the mental health part, the mental health check-in part of this video. Your girl has been like very down, very down. And I thought for a while there that it was without explanation. Turns out that it's not without explanation. There's a very good explanation for why I've been down, and I talk about that on the Patreon. I don't want to like get into that here. But I'm feeling a little bit better. This wasn't what I was trying to do, but I like it. This is not what I was trying to do, but can I replicate it on the other side of my face is the real question here. Because actually I like what just happened. Okay, let's try again. Okay, something like this. I feel like I have to concentrate because it's not going to be exactly the same. But if I can get it in the same flavor, then it's a save. Not exact, but it'll do, donkey. It'll do, because I got a feeling with all the stuff I'm going to put on my face, it's actually not going to matter if it's totally symmetrical, especially since my eyes are not even fucking symmetrical. All right, like my eyes are two different sizes, and sometimes I wonder if people can tell. Insecurities, bruh. Yeah, thank you so much to the patrons for like holding me down, entertaining my shenanigans, and supporting the kid. To be honest, I was able to buy a carton of eggs because of you. Period. So like I said, mental health check-in. I have been down for a really long time, but I feel like I'm coming back awake and coming back up. And definitely this beautiful weather we've been having in Philly is contributing to that as well. Yesterday was 80 degrees, like over 80 degrees. It's funny though, because every time I think about nice weather, or every time I choose to acknowledge nice weather outside of when that weather should be occurring, like it's a little bit early. You know, it's spring, but it's a little bit early for 80-degree weather, you know? I always think of this line from the Postal Service that it says, I think it's like people like talk about the world getting warmer, but they thought that they were just being rewarded. Basically, like, we're like thinking this is so great, but actually like global warming. Global warming. 2024 was the warmest year on record. I would imagine that 2025 will outdo it. Anywho, gloom and doom right off the rip. Before I move on off of just like the mental health stuff, I will say that like I am just like incredibly lucky and grateful to the people like I have in my real life who have been so fucking graceful with me, have shown me so much grace. I think I'm gonna take this black pencil and line my top lid and then go back in like this, because I think I'm just gonna do like a normal like brown smoky eye situation on my actual lid. I wasn't sure if I was at first, but I am. I changed my mind. So I don't want it to be like too crazy, but that's what's happening. Yeah, so I just feel like whether it's like my coworkers or people outside of work, I just feel like during this like mental health almost crisis, I want to call it, that I've been in over the last couple of weeks, people have really held it down for me. People have been super, super gracious and understanding, and not like all on me to like perform or be something else other than what I was in that moment, or like where I was at in that moment. And I recognize how lucky I am for that. Especially like I just feel like we're in this society right now that doesn't have a lot of grace or energy for anything. So I know I'm like very fortunate. Things that brought me joy in the month of March. Honestly, daylight savings has brought me a ton of joy. Okay, period. I think I want to use my MAC palette. Let's see, this MAC palette, I haven't gotten a ton of use, but it's gorgeous. It's like really pretty. There's a black in here, and there's like a little goldy brown color in here. So I think we'll see what happens with that. But there's also a white in here that I think I might blow out this pink with. I don't know yet. Anyway, I went to Selma, Alabama this month. And I went to Florida too. I went to Miami on vacation this month as well. And even like what I said about like feeling depressed and stuff, I literally felt like Patrick from SpongeBob when he like ran out of quarters, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know the reference. But I felt like Patrick when he ran out of quarters. Everybody's having fun around me and I'm just kind of like there, you know. Although I did have fun as well. Like a lot of things can be true. Like I did have fun on the trip. But I was also just like in a really bad place mentally. Yeah. I'm actually wondering if like instead of this like dark smoky eye situation, if it should have been a white smoky eye. The things we can't change. But I think, let's see what happens if I take a flatter brush and put the white on the lid part instead of this brown. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, is this brush clean or not? Looks like I used a really light color with it. We'll go for it. Anyway, I went to Selma, Alabama for work, and it was an experience of a lifetime for sure. I was there for the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. Folks who marched for voting rights for people who look like me and probably you, because I know my analytics, and they were beaten, but still did what they had to do, right? The ancestors, shout out to them. But yeah, I was there for the bridge crossing, and we were gonna actually cross the bridge with everybody, but At one point they stopped the crowd from marching, and because I think logistics, it was just so many people, you know what I mean? And there were people marching from both sides of the bridge. And then we looked at the time and it was like we had to start heading to the airport, and so we didn't get to do that. Oh, I like how the white went down in the corner there. I like that a lot. Yeah. While I was there though, I went to some museums, and unfortunately those museums are now like up for sale by the Trump administration. He's like looking to like change aspects of some of these museums, because it's more than one, or more than the two I went to. Like I went to 2 different museums with like statues and things like that. So the 2 museums I went to, one they call like the lynching museum, and the other, I don't remember what it was called, but I have pictures of the sign so I can get that for you. But basically signs basically like sculptures from different artists, like depicting different parts of slavery, and how far my ancestors have come, in the one park. And then in the other park, the lynching museum, it was like they must have had like a census at some point, where like the lynching museum, they had these, basically it was like, it felt like a graveyard, to say the least. Like it felt like being in a graveyard where any kind of like lynching that was actually written down, those people were memorialized, and it was just thousands and thousands and thousands of names. I found lots of people with my last name who had been lynched for the dumbest of reasons, the stupidest, like, you know what I mean? And then like one guy got like lynched for being annoying, like for annoying a white woman. Like lots of labor stories that were really important to me, because I do labor activist work. So people trying to like get what was owed to them got lynched. You know what I mean? Hey, this isn't fair, got lynched. Like people signing other people up to vote, you know what I mean, got lynched. People trying to unionize got lynched. Like so many labor stories in there as well that were really, really hard to see, but you know, gotta do it. I'm just going back in here with the black again because things just got kind of muddy. By the time we left that museum, we were all just pissed as we should have been, but you can only imagine. It was really rough to see and experience. It was an experience going to those museums. I also went to this like Jubilee breakfast situation just before the bridge crossing. Then, okay, like I was just saying, I went to Miami. I went to Miami with my cousin and my sister, because my sister had never been to Miami with us. And we had a blast. Very, very fun. We went speedboating. That was my first time doing it. Usually I opt out, but I was like, since my sister's coming, like, I feel like I should really do it. And so I did, and it was a lot of fun, the speedboating. And then what else did we do? We did another like bus and tour situation. I didn't film or like vlog, one, like I said, because I've been down in the dumps, but also that like we did a lot of the same activities that we would normally do, and I filmed myself going to Miami a number of times before already, and I feel like at this point me and my cousin kind of know exactly what we're gonna go do, exactly what we're not gonna go do, like what things we like or whatever, where we're gonna go, like eat, like blah blah blah, you know. And it just would have been the same video you've seen already, so I opted out of that, but it was a lot of fun. We went, we didn't go to a club this time. We like went and like walked around in our club clothes. We were thinking about going into a club, but if you've been on TikTok, right, there's a lot of conversation right now about how, I don't know if that was like last year or the year before, but basically the state of Florida was like, stop coming here for spring break. You guys are destructive. You're like fucking everything up or whatever, like blah, blah, blah. we don't want you here, blah, blah, blah. And so like, even while we were there, you could see the city itself bracing for like spring break. Like they were putting up all these barriers, they were putting up fences and like all this stuff, right? And literally it didn't eat like they thought it was going to eat, like at all. Nobody came. And now there's a lot of discussion about how small businesses were bracing themselves for a spring break that did not occur in Florida, and like they're wondering why. But meanwhile, it's like, yo, y'all told people not to come. Did y'all not tell people not to come? So they stayed home. Very interesting stuff. I think I'm actually gonna line my eyes with this stuff on the bottom. So yeah, now Florida is like eating crow for telling people not to come to spring break, and then nobody came. Ooh, I forgot that every time I use this on my eyes, my eyelashes end up getting some, and then my eyelashes always look pretty cool. Like I'm super into it. We met a lot of really interesting characters while we were in Florida. Lots of interesting men's. But no one in particular that I was like, but it is really fun being able to go places with my sister and watch her get her little Mac on. Very entertaining, very fun. I love it for her. Love it for the youth. You know what I'm saying? I realized while we were in Florida, I really have reached auntie status. I say this every like, I don't know, 24 hours or like every 48 hours. There's something that happens that makes me feel like, oh, like I'm really auntie. Being places with my little sister makes me feel like a little auntie, you know, but not even just like her, but the way that other people interact with us as a group because I'm so much older. You know what I mean? I'm 11 years older than my sister. So auntie is giving that. I think I should just keep moving forward with the paint work. I'm gonna pull my bonnet back so you guys can see my 5 head, because I have like crazy lines from my bonnet on my forehead. And I kind of want those to go away because ideally I'll be taking photos with whatever makeup look this turns out to be. And I kind of want the little spots to be gone by then. Okay, so I have my paint and I'm wondering if I should use this or should I use this to like do my little dots. I think I'm gonna use this because it's more pliable and I can like dab and press stuff in different places. I will say too, last thing on Miami, it kind of had me thinking like, how defensive am I really in the wild when it comes to these dudes? I'm gonna use something different for this. How defensive am I really? Because there was this dude, right? And these 2 guys that like spotted us outside of the hotel we were staying at, right? And they were like driving in their car, and very clearly they are from here, they live here, right? Yeah, like that, copy and paste. Very clearly they live here, and they like are driving by, they see us, they stop or whatever, like they get out the car, the one guy gets out the car actually, introduces himself, we say hello, and they just seem like two dudes on a mission. I almost said something else, but they seem like 2 dudes on a mission. All right, that was apparent to me. Now at some point the second guy gets out the car and starts talking to us too, and the way that they're like talking to us, there's no real point. Like it's not clear to any of us if like the guys are trying to hook up, are the guys trying to like, are they party promoters? You know what I mean? Like sometimes, you know, there's like a lot of like party promoters, dudes that, like, you know what I mean, working a little hustle, maybe they selling weed, like it could be a number of things. And they're just like talking. My patience runs out at a certain point, you know what I mean? My patience runs short. Okay, and I just say straight out, I'm like, okay, so what kind of hustle are you guys running? And the first guy, he's like, what? Like, hustle, you know what I mean? And his friend is like, what? I'm offended. Okay. He's like, I'm offended. And this man gets in his car, he's like, I'm leaving or whatever. And like, literally, and his friend was like shook, like, oh wow, he really is going back to the car. That man got back in his car and they literally left. And to this very moment, I couldn't tell you what they were there for, because they weren't outwardly trying to get nobody's phone number, you know what I mean? Like, and it was very clear that they weren't there to enjoy spring break. So I got tired of waiting to figure out what exactly is the plan here. What is the hustle? Are you trying to steal us? Like, what is it? So I thought I would just ask. And they got so pissed. Anyway, moving forward. Challenges and goals. I really want to get back into my books. I haven't been reading very much lately, but I have books that I want to read. It actually just makes me feel sad that I just like haven't been doing anything. So that's on my goal list. I also got cut off from the library because I haven't gone in person to like verify my identity. And so I need to do that so that they can turn my audiobooks back on. Excuse me. I don't know why I can't make perfect dots. I'm really bad at making perfect dots. I have to go back through and try to make them more round. I'm making them worse. Anyway, I think a lot of you know that I have a blog, whenindoubtpink.com, and on the blog, I talk a lot about my journey as a Black woman, navigating this world, navigating how I am dealing with the current state of affairs, whatever comes to mind. I also want to infuse more beauty stuff into the blog. It's just like, I don't know, my little online writing space, because sometimes I just get the urge to write some stuff. And that space is important to me. And I have a ton of stuff like in the drafts that I just like haven't had the time to deal with. This stuff in the drafts. And my goal is to, even if I gotta vlog it, which, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad vlog, get back into my writing and get some stuff scheduled out. Like, the writing helps no one if it's in the drafts, you know what I mean? Not saying I'm out here trying to be Dr. Phil or, you know what I mean, whatever, but there's a little bit of solidarity when you read what's up with people, because you sometimes find out that we're all thinking the same things about a lot of things, that we're all dealing with the same kinds of stuff, you know. Solidarity also sometimes feels therapeutic, to get some stuff off of my chest in that manner. We're gonna skip beauty this time around, just because I don't have a contribution. I can't think of if I've been using anything different lately, or I don't think I have any notes on anything I've been using lately. So we're gonna move forward. Music, I have been listening to the drums, like they just came out yesterday, discovering new songs from one of their older albums that I like missed. So that's been a lot of fun, getting new favorite songs, even though they're like from older albums. It's really cool. I'm still listening to the Drake and Party Next Door album. So a lot of bangers on there, which I'm grateful for, because I feel like in more recent time, Drake he either does well or he flops really hard. You know what I mean? Either he does like super, super great or he flops hard as hell. And so this just happens to be like a not flop project. And then again, we're gonna kind of skip through books because I haven't been reading, but I really, really want to get my hands on Fourth Wing. I think I have to go to the bookstore in person, which is different for me, to find it, because Amazon is talking about it's going to be weeks before they can get it to me, get me a copy, and I just think that's ridiculous. So I think I'm gonna have to find my way to a bookstore. You know, I can do it, si se puede, but like, what the hell? We be dropping harder than fuck the rap beef. I'm trying to get the party lit, for the bitches. Disrespectful. Okay. TV shows and movies. So while we were in Florida, I learned about Chicago Fire, which they're made by the same people who make Law and Order. Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf is a mastermind when it comes to TV shows, for real. Chicago Fire is so good. I'm in season 3. I decided to watch it from the beginning because we were watching it because there was like only like 5 channels in the hotel that we were in Miami, mostly probably because, you know, you're supposed to be spending your time out and about, not in the room, but like at night you're like in the room, you know. And me and my cousin and my sister started watching it, but I was like really into it. And so as soon as I got home, I was like, all right, how do I watch this? Who I gotta give some money to? And it turned out I didn't have to give no money to nobody because I already pay for Peacock. And it turned out that Chicago Fire, PD, and Med are all on Peacock. So I've got a lot of TV in front of me. And honestly, like, if you've been wondering what I was actually doing while being depressed, I've been watching Chicago Fire. I've been watching Chicago Fire from the beginning, and I'm very curious as to how they end up with a whole new squad of people by the current times. Because I noticed like some of the promotional materials that you can see for the show now have faces that I don't recognize, you know what I mean? And so I'm just like very curious as to how that whole damn team gets phased out. Does everybody get killed at once? Like what is it gonna be, you know? So I'm definitely curious to see how that like pans out. Sorry if anybody has like triphobia, because I realize how creepy this could be. But I'm like super into it. I love like alien superstar type makeup, and that's exactly where we're going, kinda. I feel like an alien superstar. Yeah. But I kind of want to have all my little dots make sense on my face, like that they're connected, and while also having not a lot of rhyme or reason. Like my face is not symmetrical. That's my preference, because I'm really bad at making things symmetrical. But yeah, girl, Chicago Fire is where it's at. Also still watching The Office. Whenever I get like, all right, my nervous system is up here from watching Chicago Fire, I go back down by watching The Office. Which me and my one coworker, we shared a room in Alabama, which rarely we have to do that, but I had her watching The Office reruns when we were in the room together. Anyway, okay. Pop culture chatter. So I talked about the Breakfast Club beef with Lauren and Just Hilarious on the Patreon. I won't get all into it again here, but I did want to talk about how they have gone about resolving the issue, which basically the issue was like that Jess came back from her maternity leave and Lauren was still doing her segments, still doing just Hilarious, just with the mess, which was a little bit weird because it's like, you're not Jess, you know, leave the mess alone. Especially because like she was doing Just with the Mess before she came on the Breakfast Club, and that was something she brought to the tables, so I can understand like her feeling some type of way about her intellectual property, and also someone taking credit for her intellectual property, because I'm very sensitive about my intellectual property because I'm a very creative person. And I don't like the idea of someone being able to take advantage of me and the things that I'm bringing to the table, period. And you know, it ended up being something that they hashed out publicly, which was a little bit cringe, for a lot of different reasons, but also I guess fuck respectability politics, because people were like trying to come for Just Hilarious based on what people think is like professional and blah 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 blah. Like, I don't subscribe to a lot of that stuff, but and what's crazy is like I'm not even like the biggest Just Hilarious fan, because she's said some things that I find to be like really homophobic or transphobic and things like that in the past, xenophobic, like just she you know, whatever. But also she's a comedian, so like I give space also to being able to say shit that's like fucking crazy, because, you know, comedians tend to do that, and she's not the only one. Anyway, so her and Lauren, everybody was like, oh, Jess is gonna get fired after this. Like, they're gonna fire the shit out of her, like, for making these problems on this show and blah, blah, blah. And they didn't fire nobody. Instead, though, they did have... Oh, I'm about to get crazy with the glitter. Got the... Oh, hold on. I want to show the camera. Little glitter specks that look like butterflies. I don't know how they're gonna I might have to actually like hand pick them off to put them on my face. Yeah, because they're not coming off on the brush, not really. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, I'm gonna take pictures at the end and then show them to you. Ooh, I took a big chunk so I could try to get a butterfly up there. I think I might have to like double layer this. Trying to get the party lit for the beaches. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Let me clean the brush first because I keep smacking myself in the eye. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna press the pieces down with my finger. I love that so much. Okay. Trying to get the party lit for the beaches. Ooh. Well, fuck that up. Let me just do it to the other side. Some extra glitter on the brush. Might as well put it on my nose. Ooh, pink. Luxury, y'all gotta come to the stage. Oh, I got way off task. Okay, so I was talking about this Lauren and Just Hilarious. So what I saw the other day was that they did like this music video, like The Job Is Mine, based off of Monica and Brandy's The Boy Is Mine. And I think that that was a really, really smart and beautiful way to like resolve the issue. Like, obviously they probably had a lot of talks behind closed doors, but to come back to the public with a like resolution, I thought that was really great, because like people were fighting. People were literally like fighting and taking sides with the two girls, and like literally Charlemagne is the problem. I the whole time I've been saying Charlemagne was the problem of this whole thing, because he was like kind of egging stuff on. Jess was saying that he told her to like check Lauren the way that she was, and Lauren didn't know that, you know what I mean? So she's thinking that this is just Jess being mean to her, not that Jess had received an instruction to like be hushing her and shutting her up and like whatever from Charlemagne. Either way, it was a mess, but it's a resolved mess, and I thought that they handled it like very well. Okay, so one thing I'm curious about is whether or not these stickers actually will stick to my face. I'm gonna pick a small one out and just test it, because I don't need to be wasting time if they're not gonna stick. I don't even know how you like how you split them up. It's not really obvious. Yeah, I have no idea how this would have stuck to my face. I really would love to use these though, because I've seen some really beautiful artwork where it felt like people were using things that were similar. Oh shoot, I got one. I got it open. This is really hard. Got it. Got him. That was really hard. I'm just doing stuff right now. This don't make no damn sense. This is too big anyway for this surface area, but the idea that it actually will stick is interesting. Okay, let me get rid of that. That was really hard to pull apart though. I don't have that kind of time in life. Okay, that stresses me. But I wonder if I can still like do some things with these little flowers instead. Even though I've like already done a little flower situation. Do it again. Do it again. I need to make my way back to the dollar store to get some new flowers. For real, for real. All right, I'm gonna cut a bunch of these. Okay, so the girls have been talking about Justin and Hailey Bieber, and talking about how Justin is doing any and everything to embarrass Hailey. And honestly, you can like, okay, there's like so many layers to this thing, right? The biggest layer for me is the fact that we're not really addressing as a community that Justin Bieber is like strung out on something, like very clearly strung out on something. There is like footage of him now like very clearly struggling. Can hardly stand up straight, and like maybe it's like, okay, living in Philly, right? we have this place that's called Kensington, right? And you might remember that before I lived in this place, I lived in another place for like a really long time. I lived there for like 3 years, right? And that was Kensington, a place where there's lots of zombies, people who are really, really like badly strung out on fentanyl. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, actually. We're gonna find out. But people who got a lot of issues, okay, live in Kensington. And a lot of homelessness, a lot of crazy stuff be going on too. But I say that to say, like, I know that walk, that like sluggish look, that like dope nod, like I know what it looks like. And Justin needs help. And the last thing he need to be worried about is a wife and kid. To be honest, he need to be getting himself rehabilitated, but it don't look like he got nobody in his life that would help him do that, which is also very sad. The girls were talking about like maybe it's because of all his childhood trauma, and that may very well be. We don't know, you know what I mean? We don't even know enough to be able to speculate a little bit what he could possibly be going through, but it is sad to see. And it's even more sad because he's got a kid now. Like, him and Hailey had a child together. I'm still breaking up the flowers. They done messed around and had a child together, and although we hardly ever see them with the kid, it's very clear that Justin don't need to be around no children, no way. That's my opinion. He don't need to be around no children, no way, in his condition. But it feels like people are more so concerned with how Hailey looks than Justin's like health and safety, you know? Yeah, the decline. But then someone else was like on YouTube was talking about like how sometimes men when they have kids start tripping like that, and I was like, I think that's a really big a really big way to react to fatherhood, you know what I mean, becoming like an addict, because it's like very clear he's on something, like I said, I guess allegedly, but like it's obvious, and he just needs help. It's really sad. Yeah. In other white folks news, what else? Alabama Barker, child. We're gonna keep this short and sweet, okay? That girl has been rich her entire life, okay? Her dad has been rich and famous for a very long time. I don't know if I'm hot or cold in this house. Her dad has been like rich and famous for a really long time, and I'm sure she grew up like going to the best schools, like having the best tutors, like having the best of the best of the best. And for whatever reason, she wanna like walk and talk like she's lived in the ghetto her entire life, and it's really baffling. One, and what's even more baffling is that she just kind of did an Ariana Grande move where, like, because I don't know if you remember, but like back when Mac Miller was here, like, you know, obviously rest in peace to him, but there was a point in time where Ariana Grande was in her black girl light skin phase, you know what I mean, and she like had a black scent, and like nobody could check her on that, like, you know what I mean? And then like one day, as everybody started to move into more like conservative looks, she was also one of those people who decided to like dial that down, stop tanning so much, lose the black scent. It's really, really interesting. It's really, really interesting to see the way that different groups can, like, you know, pick up the culture like a coat, take it off when it's no longer convenient, you know? Very suspicious. Very suspicious. I'm just going crazy with this glue right now because I'm getting ready to just stick stuff everywhere because I'm not going to be able to do the look that I wanted, but we're going to make something shake. Yeah. Do that. Just start sticking. Sorry, I gotta concentrate because it's springtime, baby. I like that it's gonna give spring regardless. Trying to find another sticky spot. There we go. So I was scrolling on TikTok. I've been on TikTok a lot, again, depression. I was scrolling on TikTok and saw that Alabama Barker has decided to become a little white girl again. And I thought this was very suspicious, okay? But then the girls were saying that they think Kris Jenner might have had a hand in this transition back to whiteness, because we know that the Kardashian family, they're like in their conservative girl era, all of them. Every last one of them. It's interesting how they're kind of doing it low key, right? It's like very, very subtle. But also it's interesting to me because back when Kanye first kind of was saying like, I'm into Trump, like Trump is my guy, they let him out there by himself to do that, knowing that they were also Trump people too. Very interesting stuff. Like nobody forgot. Nobody forgot y'all said y'all were into Trump too. Oh, my little came off my eye. Let's just put it over here instead. Not sticky enough, not tacky enough. There was this one woman that was talking about Alabama Barker, and she kept saying over and over like that she doesn't know if it's her place to speak up, because the aesthetics that Alabama has adopted make her uncomfortable, but they're also not even her aesthetics to like speak up for. And personally, I think we can agree, like, I personally feel like when white people see other white people in the midst of wrongdoing, that it would be most preferable for them to like be the ones that get involved and police their own community. That's just my opinion. But she was like, I'm really uncomfortable with this. You know what I mean? Like the wigs, the way that she acts, the way she talks. I'm like, yes, feel uncomfortable with it. Because there is something to be uncomfortable with. Yeah. Okay, the next thing, I'm gonna be really quick about it because I don't think any of you watch TYT is kind of the sense of things I've gotten. So I'll be quick about it, but I be wanting to talk about it. The way that TYT has gone to hell, and no longer really serve the original folks that they once did, because they're like really going into this like super conservative right wing like space right now. And it's really sad to see, and it's disappointing to see and experience. And I can't even believe I used to be like so tapped in with this program. But also really thankful that I've always been somebody who like has my own mind, like I can think for myself, and for my own opinions about things and have discernment. Like thank God for my own discernment, I guess is what I'm saying. Because the state of affairs are just like, they're not good, okay? And I'm really thankful that I can acknowledge that, because I think sometimes even like parasocially, it can be really easy to like lose sight. It can be really, really easy to lose sight. Okay, while I'm just sitting here, I am gonna attempt to try to get the backings off of these stickers, because I have these like daisy and like more springtime looking stickers, but the backs are really hard to remove is what I figured out. So let's see if I can get a couple, because that would look cool in my little garden here. I wish this looked a little bit different from the last look I used these for, but at this point at least I came to some kind of ending. Yeah, but now TIT has gotten to the point where they're like banning people from their show, people who they used to really love and be in community with, because folks are starting to see where the trains have left the tracks, you know, and they're speaking up. Like people are seeing it and speaking up. Just that like, I don't know. It's just gotten bad, y'all. It's just gotten bad. And it's really sad. And I've like unsubscribed and like moved on from all their platforms. And I'm still looking for like a political home that feels good. I've been trying different people out. Like I've been watching The Vanguard, but also it's like two white guys like running their mouth. And I would love something with a little bit more diversity. Like, I watch Ben Dixon, but sometimes he gets kind of religious, and that's a little bit weird for me. I don't know. Anyway, see, I cannot get the backs off of these stickers. I'm about to just like glue the whole damn sticker to my face. Like, glue the sticker to my face. I don't even know if I really want this on my face. I think it would photograph really cool though. Like, it might look weird in real life, but it would photograph cool. Let's do it. I'm just gonna cut them a little closer and then glue them to my face. Where'd my glue go? Oh my God. Then I need to look at that last look to decide what color my lips are gonna be. I'm just gonna slide that in here under these flowers. This is a mess. Maybe it's too late. That's the thing about all of my like more creative makeup situations though, is that they look crazy in real time, but when they photograph, you know, that's where I win. I think I do need to fix these dots though, because I had to reapply the under eye. I'm such a happy individual. You make me feel so young. Okay, so the orange man and his little minions are ruining the whole world, and they're kidnapping people, and things are getting very, very scary. I think the one thing that's like at the top of my mind right now is that he just like was able to cancel federal union contracts, which is like crazy scary, mostly from my vantage point of working for a labor union, right? Is that the idea that somebody with a snap of a finger can just decide that your contract is null and void doesn't just affect the workers, but also affects the union itself, and all the people who work for that union, especially if all of their membership are public sector workers. You know what I mean? Like, if that happened for private sector workers with a snap of a finger, I would immediately be unemployed. You know what I mean? Not to mention that the bosses would take advantage of the moment and start to mistreat workers, start rolling back on anything they want, honestly. Anything that was discussed prior, they can catch amnesia now. And there's more room to punish people who rebel. Very, very terrifying. And, you know, there are ways to like fight back, calling your like state congress people, representatives and stuff like that. And there's a lot of calls to action about that right now. And me being like a communications person, I'm like elbows deep in this stuff. But it's really, 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 really terrifying. But then like nothing is more terrifying than you being kidnapped, especially as a citizen, right? Like, my folks built this country, you know what I mean, as like formerly enslaved people. And just the idea of like people who are even like coming to this country, they do everything right and then get snatched up by ICE to like places that they haven't been in years, or like now we're learning that there's like these forced labor camps popping up, and it's like, yo, in these times we have to like not only watch our back and our step, remember, watch your back and your step, remember that, watch your back and your step, but also looking to your neighbor and watching their back and their step, and being accountable to one another in community. And I think that's really hard for people, because we just like live in this world where people are only really worried about themselves, what they got going on, what they got to do on the daily, trying to survive the daily, like legitimately. There are a lot of reasons why, you know, even just the way we are conditioned in America not to give a fuck about the person next to you. There are a lot of reasons why we don't typically look out for our fellow man woman, non-binary person. But I think that's where we're at. That's what we need. Especially like now that we're getting to a point where he's like ignoring federal judges when they try to fight back. And it's interesting to me because I always say like men are only governed by the law. And I say that a lot in terms of like, you know, like the fact that, you know, age of consent, you know what I mean? 16 to 18 or whatever. Like men just be waiting like for women or young girls, teenagers to like turn certain ages, you know what I mean? Like, or family members who, like, if they weren't your family member, they would probably try to hit on you. Like literally men are only governed by the law. And in this case, being like a more political situation, I'm looking at it like, yo, he's not even governed by the law. He's ignoring the law. And I think also as like Black Americans, we also need to be watching out and looking at this. Because not even like, even just what I said earlier about the fact that there are like these national parks where we talk about our history, which is American history. Slavery is American history. And that's white history too. You know what I mean? And the fact that like we're getting rid of things that include diversity, equity, inclusion, like it's getting ugly, bro. It's getting real ugly. Yeah, I need to take a break because I need to figure out what color my lips should be, and because based on this last picture that I did with these flowers, that now this look is very similar. Okay, so this is the one I'm referring to. This look is like very, very similar to this one, but I have seemed to have made it slightly different, so I'm happy about that. I have like these coral colored lips in this look, so I don't know if I think I could probably do like a proper pink lip look, maybe some sort of ombre. Let's see, or maybe I'll do like a dark on the outside, pink in the inside. Let's see. Guess I could use actual lip liner now that I have like a ton of them, but this seems a lot faster. Actually, I still might because this is not as dark as I remembered it to be. Yeah. Yeah, this pencil's just slightly darker. I think I'm gonna slightly overdraw. I probably should have did something just generally lighter because this is like a very springtime look, but I don't know. I'm a block. Okay. Maybe I'll do like a really high pink in the middle. Very pretty. Trying to decide if I should put gloss on it or leave it matte. I think I might leave it matte. Okay, I kind of want a little blush action. Gonna use my little anime palette from Eve Expressions. This is a fun palette. I always forget that I have it. That's the thing about using the paint. It doesn't dry well, and so now I'm smearing it all over my damn face. Girl, that's itchy. Okay, I'm talking about y'all triphobia. I got the triphobia. Oh, I don't have lashes on. Should I use lashes or should I just let me see. How would this look? I'm trying to think. I think I am gonna put them on. These lashes are nothing to call home about. I got them off of Amazon. The band is way too thick. They kind of suck. But they're good to just pop on for a look real fast and then take them right back off. Okay, so let's move on to trends and internet memes, mostly internet memes, right? So one thing I've been thinking about is like the Black child experience, the Black kid experience, okay? And with that, I'm like trying to figure out, like, did we literally all have the same childhood? Did we all literally just grow up the same way? Because I be seeing these videos on TikTok, and there's this one I just keep going back and watching. And I don't know why. Maybe it's the trauma of it that I just keep going back because it cracks me up, but like also traumatizes me of what it means to like be telling your mom that you have a school project due the next day.
Mom?
What?
I have a project due tomorrow.
What you mean you got a project due tomorrow, Christian? I just asked you when you came home if you had any homework. What you say?
No.
What do you gotta do?
I have to make a poster.
How you gonna get the goddamn poster supplies? How much of the book have you read?
Like the covering.
Cause it make no sense, Christian. It make no damn sense. And let me tell you something. You failed this damn project? Say goodbye to your legs, cause I'm chopping them off. Come on! What you need?
She said I need poster board.
Okay, then pick up a poster board. Why?
I don't know what color though.
Christian, you finna make me act an ass up in this goddamn store. Read the directions.
I thought I gave them to you.
You know damn well you didn't give me no goddamn. Hurry it up. Sit down and put that damn phone on the dresser. Playing with you. You had all damn day to do that damn assignment. Get that damn paper out and do the damn homework.
I've been there. And so glad to be grown now, because those days were rough. And scary, very scary. My mom used to be mad as heck. Or even if it wasn't like a school project, just what it meant to like go to Walmart with your parents and the things that they would say, or like how they would react to certain things, or you asking to get stuff or whatever. And like what's funny is like I read the comments on that video and people were like, adulting is understanding that the mom's crash out was legitimate. And although I hate to like admit it myself, but yeah. If that was me, I would be crashing out too. Most certainly. Crashing the hell out. All right, I'm just waiting for my lashes to get tacky. I don't know. So as far as the tea on me, there's not much. I've been enjoying my new therapist. She really puts me in my place. Not that I need to be put in my place, but like, I just really appreciate her honesty and that she doesn't judge, you know what I mean? And I've said some shit in my therapy sessions that even I fucking judged, or I had to sit down and think about after I said the shit later on, like, damn, I really said that, huh? Like, damn. Oh man, violated. But I need a mirror. I need another mirror. Okay, yeah, this will work. Because I need like my like favorite way to put the lashes on is like to have a mirror down here, you know, and put it on like this. But yeah, one thing we were talking about, I sent her a TikTok, right? Sometimes I send her memes. I send my therapist memes and TikToks for us to discuss. And we were talking about this one where the guy's basically saying like that a lot of us are so used to living chaotically, or like living in chaos literally, that we don't even know how to act when things are fine. Like we get bored, quote unquote, and then we go make more drama and shit because we don't know what else to do. Or like we just don't know how to just be because we're so used to living in chaos. And that really resonated. Like lately I feel like I've been saying like, oh, I'm bored, I'm so bored, you know? And really what I think I'm saying is like, there's no chaos going on and I want to go whip some up. You know what I mean? Like, because what I do in response to being like I'm bored says that I just that, like that I am looking for something bad to get into, when really I could just be sitting peacefully and enjoying my peaceful time to myself. But instead I want to go out there and whip up some drama. You know, healing is a journey and your girl's trying. She's really trying. Okay, so here's my final look. All right, it will do, donkey. It will do. Anyway, I like it. It is slightly different than the last look I used the flowers for, so I'm satisfied with it. I think I'm just gonna do like some creative background razzle dazzle magic to make it really like pop and come to life. I'm into it though. But yeah, this is the final look. I hope you guys had fun kikiing with me. It's been a month, but like I said, I feel like between like being physically sick and then like a little mentally sick, it wasn't the most productive month. But I'm hoping that April will be better. You know what I mean? Ups and downs. We take them as they come. Yeah. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.